Dear boomers, laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and you cry alone. This quote is penned by poet Ella Wheeler Wilcox. So let's dive into this quote that has resonated with so many across the world and many, many generations. This quote holds a mirror up to the duality of human connection, our shared joy, and our solitary struggles. In this video, we'll explore what this means for us, how it impacts our relationships, and how we can use this wisdom to live fuller, more connected lives. And I have to say that you probably see the truth in these words, but you have to learn how to navigate the challenges they present and find strength in both the laughter and the tears. I know that when my husband died, what was so weird about it was the pandemic had just happened. So there wasn't any kind of socialization going on. And I had to create my own entertainment, which happened to be studying spiritual principles, Ram Dass, some of these quotes that we talk about here, and Buddhist philosophy. It helped me quite a bit. So let's try to figure out what the quote means and how it applies to our life. The first part of the quote is very understandable and it's easy to understand. Laughter is magnetic. It's a signal to others that we're happy, open, and approachable. When you laugh, you invite others to join you. Think about any time you've been in a group where one person's laughter sets off a chain reaction, and it's almost impossible not to smile or laugh along. But then there's the other side. Cry and you cry alone. At first, it feels that might be very isolating. The words are very isolating, but the idea that our pain is ours to bear and that we're left alone in moments of grief can feel unfair. But what if this isn't about isolation at all? What if it's about the deeply personal journey that sorrow invites on us? One that ultimately brings us closer to ourselves and to others. And really, when tragedy befalls us, the best thing to do is to sit alone in a room and feel the sorrow and the grief. And then you sit there until you don't you no longer feel these things. Laughter is the purest form of contagion and connection. It has the ability to bridge divides, transcend language barriers, and dissolve tension. That even science backs this up. Studies show that laughter releases endorphins, our body's natural feel-good chemicals, and this promotes bonding and trust. I remember hosting a gathering not long ago, and there was this moment when somebody told a silly story, and we all just lost it. Tears of laughter running down our faces. And sometimes you can laugh so hard that you break into tears, and that is called hysteria, and that's the most fun of all. And in those few minutes when everybody was laughing, the world's worries disappeared. Moments like this remind us how healing laughter is and can be, especially for boomers and seniors who sometimes do feel unconnected. So let's sit with the second part of the quote. Cry and you cry alone. At first glance, this can feel like a harsh truth, but it's worth examining because sadness demands solitude. It's a time when we turn inward, reflecting on our lives, our losses, and our hopes. And it's not that others don't care, but it's that the grief is an experience that we process in our own way. So I'm sure all of us have experienced deep sorrow in our lives, and it feels like when no one could understand the weight of our emotions. But looking back, I realized those moments weren't about isolation. They were about growth, human growth, my own personal growth, because grief teaches us resilience. And sometimes being alone with our tears allows us to find clarity and strength we didn't even know we had. But here is the secret. While we may start crying alone, we don't have to stay alone. Vulnerability is the bridge between isolation and connection. When we allow ourselves to share our pain with others, whether through a conversation or a support group or even a simple phone call, we open the door to empathy, and we are actually giving the other person a gift to experience that kind of empathy towards us. And as they are able to understand how it affects them and their lives. So boomers and seniors, this is especially important to us. We've lived through so much losses, joys, and transitions. Sharing our stories doesn't just help us to heal, it gives others permission to share theirs and creates a ripple effect of understanding and compassion. Remember, there's strength in the saying, "I'm not okay," and letting others support you. You are actually asking for help, which is a spiritual practice, one that is not implemented or practiced enough in our society. Life is a dance between joy and sorrow, and that is the truth. There's not any time when you're going to feel completely like everything is funny or that everything is completely sorrowful. But we do need both to appreciate the richness of our experiences. Laughter reminds us of our shared humanity, whilst tears deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. So it's okay to feel very deeply about things, to laugh with abandon when joy strikes, and to cry when the weight of the world is upon us. Both are expressions of a life fully lived. So as you reflect on this quote, which I think is probably very familiar to most of us, when you laugh, the world laughs with you, but when you cry alone. I encourage you to embrace both laughter and tears in your life. Share your joy generously. It's a gift to the world. And when sorrow comes, don't shy away from it. Sit with it, learn from it, and when you're ready, reach out for help. You might be surprised by the many hands that are waiting to lift you up. If this message resonates with you, there's going to be a video that shows up right here. Take a look at that. Please subscribe, and I'll see you again in tomorrow.